Military homebuyers and first-time homebuyers, one of the questions that I get asked all the time, do I pay my mortgage off early? It's asked numerous amounts of time, and today we're gonna break it down. But before I do, my name is Daniel, founder of ReadySetBuy.io that has free homebuyer guides for you and also a loan officer with New American Funding. If you haven't done so yet, smash the subscribe button so you don't miss any weekly content that we're putting out to help you become a better home buyer and honestly just more financial savvy. So today we're gonna break it down. VA loans, should you pay it off early? We have two sides of the aisle here. One side screaming, hey, be scared of debt. Don't take on any debt. I'm not gonna say any names, but you should be debt free. And then you have the other side of the aisle that says, hey, leverage your debt, don't pay everything off, and invest the difference to make more money. So which side wins? Today, again, I'm gonna give you two scenarios, two buyers, and we're gonna put them to the test. We got Debt-Free Dave, and then we got Investor Irene. I don't know why we chose those names, but that's what we're going with today. Both of them have a VA loan, but we're gonna keep them exactly the same. Both of them have a $500,000 VA loan. Both of them have 30 years to pay it off, okay? And then both, let's just say, have a 6.5% interest rate, and both of them have a mortgage payment of $3160 a month. Now, here is the part that is different, because Debt-Free Dave over here says, okay, I have the ability to put an extra $1,000 a month to my mortgage. So Debt-Free Dave is saying, okay, not only am I gonna make my mortgage payment a month, but I'm gonna add $1,000 to the mortgage every single month. So Debt-Free Dave over here is gonna be paying $4160 a month to pay off his loan early. Yay, Debt-Free Dave coming in for the win. But then you have the other side, you have Investor Irene. And Investor Irene says, yes, I'm gonna make the same mortgage payment as well because I can afford it. However, instead of paying $1,000 towards my loan, I'm gonna take that $1,000 starting day one, and I'm gonna invest it in a simple index fund. So I'm gonna put it maybe in the marketplace, and it's gonna return me 9%. So you have Debt-Free Dave who comes over here and says, I don't want any more debt, I need to be out of it. He is gonna make an extra monthly payment of $1,000. And then you have Irene who says, I'm cool with the debt, I wanna invest that difference. And she's gonna make $1,000 a month investment into a simple index fund. Okay, so what does that mean for both of them? So let's check out the results on who's right in this scenario. Investor Dave, after 16 and a half years, my man is debt free. He's got no more mortgage payment. He says, well, I actually, since I'm debt free, I'm gonna take that $4160 a month and I'm gonna invest it now into the stocks. And I'm gonna go after my 9% return. So for the remainder of the 13 and a half years that he has this loan, he's gonna be making an investment of $4160 a month at 9%. At the end of the 30 years, when it's all said and done, he's gonna come out with about $1 million. Dude, go ahead, Dave. Debt-Free Dave. Everything's paid off, let's go. $1 million. But we can't forget about Investor Irene. Irene says, I'm not paying my mortgage off early. I am, for the next 30 years, gonna be making a $1,000 investment into the simple index fund at a 9% return. If we do this math correctly, we understand that Irene is actually, at the end of 30 years, going to have $1.8 million. So paying off a mortgage in this scenario, yes, Debt-Free Dave doesn't have any debt, he has $1 million. However, Investor Irene understands that she can leverage debt, and now she has even more investments when she gets to the end of this 30-year term, which in return has $1.8 million. That means the decision to pay off the mortgage early costed Dave $800,000 after 30 years. That is a crazy difference. So in this scenario, it doesn't make sense to pay off the mortgage early. Now, you know, I'm gonna have people in the comments telling me, well, Dave Ramsey told me to pay it off early and do all this, and this scenario is not. Every scenario is gonna be different, and there are scenarios in which paying off debt would make more sense. Let's say, for example, you're at the end of retirement. You're at the age where you're retiring. You want a simple portfolio. You don't want to start investing again. You don't want to have to worry about mortgage, and you don't want to put your money in the stock market. Sure, pay off the debt and live the rest of your life free. Let's say you don't have the ability to pay off that mortgage fast. Well, take some money and throw it into the stock market, and compounding interest is going to grow it over that 30-year term. Again, every scenario and everything is different, but people that have the ability to pay it off doesn't mean you should necessarily do it. You should run the different scenarios. You should play with the numbers to see what would happen if you actually invested the money instead of throwing everything towards your mortgage over the 30 years. Again, in this scenario, debt-free Dave, even though a millionaire, investor Irene actually came out on top with $1.8 million. Shout out investor Irene. She knows how to throw the money at it. But again, listen, the scenarios are different. The stewardship of money becomes very important, and it's important to understand. And this is probably one of the most important things to discuss with a mortgage advisor is, okay, do I make extra payments monthly, or do I take that difference and throw it into the stock market to grow my funds? Again, this isn't financial advice. This is just common sense, common math. It all depends on your scenario, your walk of life, where you're at, the ability to pay. And both of these scenarios, I'm assuming that nobody won the lottery. It's just normal life. So with this scenario, understand that paying off your mortgage sometimes is not the right answer. In the long run, you could have more money if you actually invest it. So if you stuck around this long, I have something really cool for you. I am going to give you my invest or pay off early calculator. Invest or pay off early calculator. Just drop me a comment in the comment section with the word invest, and I will send you that calculator. Always know that we have free guides for you, free courses to help you with home ownership and understanding what the process looks like. Again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and tune in next week for a new video.